What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the War Room. Welcome to episode 212 of Cocktails in the War Room. I am your host, Mistress Carrie. Oh my God, the Thanksgiving thing will not go away. Oh, welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. Let me explain some rules because, well, you got to drink already. It's a social. Whenever there's a typo on the screen on the show, we pride ourselves on being professional on this show. But every now and again, a typo appears on the screen, and that was one of them. So, hopefully, you have a drink in hand. Cheers to you. Normally, we call this show Cocktails in the War Room. Tonight, I'm calling it Temple Tuesday. Tonight, the show for me will be Mocktails in the War Room for reasons that I will explain because it's been a week. Since I joined you here in the War Room a week ago for episode 211, I went on a little trip, went down to North Carolina to celebrate the belated birthday of the Marine Corps. My husband is an active duty Marine, and the unit that he is in had a bunch of guys deployed, so they delayed their ball a little bit until all of those guys came home, so they had their ball this past weekend. By the way, the whining, in case you're new to the War Room, the whining is the midget, the fuzzball, the pain in the ass, my partner in crime. Get down. Wednesday, the goth pug, who has been trained to come here into the War Room and get bribed with cookies if she behaves herself. And that's exactly what she's begging for right now. Are you? Hey, back up. Back up. Back up, down. So while I was away, Wednesday had a pug sitter, and I went down to North Carolina to visit my husband, to get all dressed up and go to the ball. And Wednesday got a little bit of extra spoiling time with her auntie, and got to spend some extra time with Zero as well. Jessica says, you look so beautiful. I'm assuming, yes, the Nugget. Exactly, Tracy. She's got about 10,000 nicknames. So the ball, I'll say this before I show you guys some pictures. I have not let my hair down and party like that in a while. And that is why tonight is a Temple Tuesday and I'm drinking a Shirley Temple tonight. I don't think there's any Tito's left within a 2.5 hour radius of Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. All the vodka, all of it is gone because I made you proud. I didn't get in any fights. I didn't get arrested. To my knowledge, I did not commit a felony. But my liver definitely needs a little bit of a detox. So it was a crazy weekend. I have some pictures I want to show you. And I want to get, the cookies are gone. They're gone. See? The cookies are gone. Here, play with one of your toys. Here. Did you lose a piece of your cookie on the floor? Is that why you're being a psycho right now? Huh? There it is. There it is. There you go. Okay. Can you sit for a little while and behave now? Recovery, Tracy. Exactly. By the way, what's up, Tracy and Trina? Lisa's here. Louise, Jessica, Jonathan, Liz is here. What's up, Mr. Bishop? Tracy, Heidi is joining us here in the War Room. So I want it Wednesday. It's gone. I picked it up for you. Can you just back up and sit down, please? Good girl. There you go. So I wanted to show you guys some pictures. Let me see. It's probably going to show up really big right now. Hold on. Oh, God, my boobs are so big in this picture now. Why? There we go. So I wanted to tell you about this dress that I wore because I bought it 2 years ago to wear to the ball a couple years ago. And the balls all got canceled because of COVID. So that's the front. That's the back. Hold on, I don't know why this screen has been like this today, but it has been all day today. Oh my God. There we go. So now that everybody's watching Wednesday on Netflix, which when I bought the dress like 2 years ago, I was like, ooh, that's kind of Morticia Addams. Like, that's pretty cool. And so when I wore it to the ball, everyone was like, have you seen Wednesday yet? And I was like, yes, I've seen Wednesday. I love everything about anything to do with the Addams family. And so there you go. That's the dress. Quite the reaction to the boobs on Facebook. It literally, I'm completely covered except one little sliver down the front. And otherwise, it's long sleeve all the way down to the floor, high neck, no slit up the leg. Like literally, it's about 4 inches of fabric from like a burqa. And those 4 inches of fabric showing a little side boob. The reaction I got on social media, it is the most tagged, commented, and shared photo that I've put up this entire year, which is insane to me. Yeah, rocking the Morticia Addams, says Tracy. Exactly. What's going on, Ryan? The sleeves were very cool. I will tell you this, though. It looks amazing. It looks great in photos, and it was really comfortable. However, completely impractical to walk in. And they decided at the ball this year that they were going to make it a buffet. So there I was already wobbly in my high heels because, as you guys are very well aware, I do not walk well in heels. Hey, will you beat it? But then I had the sleeves and the length of the dress, especially the train in the back, and then trying to carry like plates of food. And my husband had to be a helper for sure. I know, cleavage. I know. What? There's nothing. Can you stop? Can you please behave? By the way, she has been up my ass since I got home. I was only gone like 4 days, but Wednesday, as soon as I walked in the house, and I got in the house late because of the storm on Sunday. So I don't know if you guys saw my social media post, but I was one of those people stranded on the runway at Logan on Sunday night. And we timed it, obviously. So my flight was delayed an hour leaving North Carolina, which was not a big deal. We knew about it before we got on the plane. So I just went to the bar, prolonged my hangover. Then once we took off, the flight isn't that long, but then we sat for 3 hours and 10 minutes on the runway at Logan because they had a shortage of grounds crew, de-icing equipment, and baggage handlers. And it took us 3 hours and 10 minutes. The graphics of Logan Airport with all of the stalled flights was just insane. And they had one flight that was stranded for 6 hours. A bunch of flights got bumped ahead of us. One because of a medical emergency. The other because the bathrooms on the flight stopped working. And I was like, every time I saw somebody go into the bathroom, I was like, please don't break the toilet. Please. And you guys know from episodes of the podcast that I like to sit in the aisle. My husband's a window guy. I like to sit in the aisle. I like to be in control of when I can get up. And I also I'm a control freak. I want to be in the aisle. So I was communicating with everybody that has a Mistress Carrie backstage pass because one of the things that I was like posting about was thankfully, I have specific items that I always have in my carry-on. And it doesn't matter if I'm flying to North Carolina. It doesn't matter if I'm flying overseas. I have been stranded on a plane so many times on the runway that there's just certain things that I will not travel without in my carry-on. So I wanted to talk about this really quick, just because with the holiday travel coming up, you might be getting on a plane and you might think, oh, this is just going to be a quick flight, but you never know what could delay you. So one of the things that I do is I always take a change of clothes. I always have an extra pair of shoes and a complete outfit. Even if it's like track pants and a sports bra and like a clean t-shirt and underwear and socks, I roll them up really tight and kind of put them in one of those little like airlock bags. And I always just have a change of clothes in my carry-on just in case somebody spills something on me, which happened on the flight, that the flight attendant spilled Sprite all over me by accident. I got so many free miles from the airline between the spilled soda and the 3.5 hours sitting on the runway, which I appreciated. And the spill wasn't that, it's not like she spilled hot coffee all over me. It wasn't a big deal, but I always keep a change of clothes on me, which came in handy. I always bring a phone charger. I always make sure that everything I'm taking on board with me that has batteries is fully charged. And I always make sure that if I have Bluetooth headphones, that I have a set of corded headphones with me as a backup, because I don't care how good the quality is with anything with rechargeable batteries, whether they're your AirPods, battery powered noise canceling headphones, the laptop battery, your cell phone battery. Who knows how long you're going to be stranded. So I always make sure that all the charging cables, my computer, my phone, the headphones, all of that stuff is in my carry-on bag. I always also make sure that I have a book with me. I was lucky that my flight had not only Wi-Fi on the flight and had the in-flight movies that worked the entire time, which helped to keep everyone from getting super annoyed, is that we were just watching movies, but also that it had power outlets at the seats, which not all flights do. And so you could be in a position where you're sitting on the flight and you're just sitting there and then people's batteries start dying. At least you have a book or something to keep you occupied. And then I always also make sure that I have a drink with me and that I have snacks with me, because even though they had drinks and snacks on the flight, the snacks were like little bags of almonds. And if you're rushing to make a connection and you don't have a chance to eat at the airport, you're going to want to have snacks with you. And so those are just some of the things. And then the other thing, which is not necessarily important for me, but is something that if you are on any kind of maintenance medication, that you have a couple days worth of your maintenance medication on your person, in case you check, if you're going to be gone for a week or two, you may put all your medication in with your toiletries and stuff in your suitcase, but that's not going to do you any good if you get stranded or separated from your luggage, whether it's on the way or if you get to your final destination and your baggage doesn't arrive. Having a day or two's worth of your prescription and a copy of your prescriptions so that you can get them refilled is super important as well. Lisa says, you sound like me carrying all the extras. And I also always carry like a little travel pack of like wet wipes with me, because you just never know. You just don't know. So you're better off having them. So prepared. She thinks of everything, says Heidi. Well, that's part of the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys about this, is that it's happened so many times. And I know that I fly more than the normal person, not only because of the nature of my job, but also because my husband and I don't live together in the same state, that I travel pretty often. And my husband travels more than I do. Elsa says, I bring my iPad. Absolutely. A bag of nuts. They had a bunch of almonds and stuff for us, but trail mix. A lot of the time what I try to do is, it happened when I was on my way to Vegas this last time. Remember, I got stuck on the runway and I was sharing my sandwich with Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach because I got a sandwich and put it in my bag. This stuff happens, and it happens very frequently. And as the weather gets crazier, as there's manpower shortages, and just as more and more people are excited to travel, the odds are at one point or another, you're going to get trapped. Traveling with kids, that's a whole other bag, because that's going to be dependent on what your kids are going to need to keep themselves occupied. But, everything from like melatonin gummies. Sometimes I have a really hard time sleeping when I travel. I am 100% in love with my mattress and my pillow at home. And sometimes hotel beds are super uncomfortable or they're noisy. I remember one year I was in Vegas for work, and I was in the room next to the elevator banks in an old hotel. And every time someone got in the elevator, it vibrated the wall of my room and woke me up. And so I always just try to travel. Advil, I always have a couple of those in my bag. Just crazy stuff like that. And half the time, it's not even just for my own comfort, but the comfort of someone around you. When I was traveling with my husband and kids, when we went to Key West earlier this year, we got stuck on the runway in Key West for like 2.5 hours. And I had all of these snacks with me. And my husband travels so often that he did as well. But there was another family that was going to the same military event that we were. And they had 4 kids with them. And they didn't have all the snacks that we had. And I was able to help keep their 4 kids quiet and at bay because I had snacks on me. And that not only made the quality of my life better, but the quality of everyone's lives on the plane better. Definitely just think about it if you're going to be traveling for the holidays, about stupid little things. And I'm not saying you got to be one of those people that's got like 17 different bags you're trying to carry on. But definitely just a foldable set of clothes. I always take my big jacket with me because jackets don't count towards your carry-on or a personal item. And I like having it as an extra blanket. Sometimes planes are really cold. Sometimes they're super hot, but sometimes they're really cold. What's up, Eric? How are you? Let's see. Everyone should have bought you drinks. Yeah, keeping the kids at bay, 100%. Walter, don't forget the snacks. But it's definitely one of those things where, depending on what it is, you can make sandwiches. They don't count as like gels and stuff at home, and put them in your bag, and then just bring a refillable water bottle with you through TSA, and then fill it once you get through TSA. But just making sure, that you have drinks and food, just those extra little things. Personal pillow and blanket, says Tracy. I did 3 weeks in Italy, just brought a carry-on and a backpack. I'm a very light packer. That's impressive. I am a very heavy packer. My husband calls it all my baggage. And I'm one of those people that, I toured for years before I was on the radio, and all of the traveling that I've done, most of the time I'm traveling, it's for very specific reasons. And why are you scratching me? For example, the ball, I was only going to be down there for 3.5 days. I had to bring my gown with me. I'd lived in fear that I was going to get separated from my luggage, and that if they lost my luggage and I wasn't going to be able to get it in time, I was, like, okay, is there a place where I can go and get a ball gown quick? Because that was the whole point of the trip, was for me to go to the ball and then spend some time with my husband and the kids. And I would have been shit out of luck if I didn't have my gown with me. So let's see. My husband says I always pack way too much. Yeah, Marion, until he needs some of the stuff you have. And especially now that now that my husband's home, I have a whole set of stuff, like toiletries, like all of that kind of stuff at his house. So I don't have to travel with that stuff. And I've got some clothes there the same way that he does here. But I don't have ball gowns at his house. I don't have stuff like that. And this kind of stuff doesn't happen overnight. The curling of the hair takes like 45 minutes, and it barely lasts long enough to get my picture taken in it. It just never wants to stay curly, and it always seems to be raining when we go to one of the Marine Corps balls. And so I always end up having to go outside. So Tracy says, I did 2 weeks in England with a carry-on backpack. Tracy, that's impressive. My husband and I, being motorcycle riders, have talked about going on some extensive motorcycle trips. And he's like, you're going to have to pare down your stuff, right? Because you're not going to be able to take as much stuff with you. I did 6 days in Nova Scotia on a motorcycle and was able to live off the saddlebags and the bike, which was pretty impressive for me. But it definitely took some thought in what I could live without and what I 100% had to take with me. But again, I was on a motorcycle trip. So it didn't matter what my hair looked like. It didn't matter if I had makeup on. Going to a ball, sitting at the head table with my husband and the guest of honor, you kind of have to not be in dirty jeans with your hair up in a ponytail. So, Mark, my thoughts exactly. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And one of the things that I have, why are you scratching me? Can you come here? One of the things that I have at home, which is super helpful for me, is a luggage scale. So I always weigh my luggage before I go to the airport. And 50 pounds for most airlines is the limit. I try to get it around 49 pounds in case one of the scales is a little plus or minus. But then I know, okay, I'm taking all of this. That way I know I can get it back. And that if I buy anything while I'm gone, it has to fit in my carry-on because I know it's not going to fit in my luggage coming back. What's up, Fernandez? Merry Christmas. Rachel says, my nieces were looking over my shoulder when I was looking at your ball pictures and both want purple hair now. Oh, tell them to go see Linda. Bring a stain treater just in case of spilled food on clothes. Yeah, like a Tide stick pen or like something like that, 100%. She wants doggy treats, Lisa. I know. 3 pairs of pants, 3 shirts, a pair of shoes, and plenty of clean underwear. My husband and I actually got into the clean underwear conversation because he was remarking about all the stuff that I brought with me. And we had the ball to go to. We had errands to run. We had a Christmas party that we actually had at his house with friends from down there one of the days while I was gone. And so he was like, how much is in that bag? Seriously, what did you bring? Because I also, whenever I go to a ball with him, I always bring an extra ball gown that I can wear with the same shoes and same accessories in case the zipper breaks on the dress, because that happens too. And so I was going through all of the stuff and he was like, how many bras and underwear do you have? And I was like counting them out, and I was gone for 72 hours and brought 7 pairs of underwear. And so that has become a joke with him now. He's like, why did you need 7 pairs of underwear? And I was like you said, it's better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them. Plus they're small. Just throw a handful of panties in the bag and go. And then I had the extra stuff in my carry-on too. So she wants the treats. Yes, Ralph, I did get your package. It's in mail call tonight for sure. Marion says, I have had liver cancer and had my scan results on Friday. So far, I am in the clear. That is fantastic. So that was part of the pictures that I wanted to show you guys was the dress because it got such a huge reaction. The other thing, can I help you? Do you smell a cookie in my pocket? Is that what you smell? Hold on, let me put your camera on. You have been scraping it. Yes, I have one. Down. Down. Paw. Other paw. Sit. Nope, sit. High five. Good girl. There you go. Can you back up a little? You smelled that cookie in my pocket, didn't you? Did you smell that cookie in my pocket? I'm going to boop your nose. Boop. Boop in your nose. No. Good girl. Okay. I have one more. Then you're done for the night. I got to tell the rest of the story. Okay, sit down. Nope. Back up and sit down. Down. Good girl. Okay, you stay there. There's no more cookies, see? No more. No more. All right, so the other picture that I wanted to show you guys, I wanted to talk a little bit about the guest of honor at the ball. So hold on, Wednesday. Hey, there's no more cookies in my pocket. So I wanted to tell you guys about this amazing and fascinating guy that was, why can't I get this picture to load? There we go. That was the guest of honor of the ball. And I wanted to talk a little bit about him for a couple of reasons. First of all, why won't this picture? Here we go. First of all, because it's not very often, at least at this ball that I was at, where there is an enlisted Marine as the guest of honor. And also, the guest of honor was also a retired Army Command Sergeant Major. So what's funny about the guest of honor is that he was originally a Marine, and he served in the Marine Corps, and then he got out, and then he joined the Army. So I wanted to read you part of his bio that they gave out in the program for the ball. Command Sergeant Major Patrick McCauley is a former command senior enlisted leader of the United States Special Operations Command at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa. He is one of 9, U.S. SOCOM is one of 9 combatant commands with the Department of Defense Unified Command Structure. So he was the senior enlisted person for all of the United States Special Operations Command at MacDill. Not just Army, not Marines, not Air Force, all of U.S. SOCOM. He was the senior enlisted leader. He initially enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1986, attended boot camp, and then transferred to the U.S. Army as an intelligence analyst, serving tours with the 2nd Infantry Division in Korea. He was stationed in Kansas. Then he volunteered for Special Forces, the Q course in October of 1990. Then he was part of the 3rd Special Forces Group. He then assessed for a special mission unit where he would go on to serve as a team member, assistant team sergeant, K-9 Troop Sergeant Major, Assault Troop Sergeant Major, Operations Sergeant Major, Squadron Command Sergeant Major, and Unit Command Sergeant Major. Yeah. In June of 2015, Command Sergeant Major McCauley was assigned to U.S. Special Operations Command Central at the Command Senior Enlisted Leader and was subsequently selected for his position at U.S. SOCOM. He is highly decorated, a Ranger, airborne, went through the parachute course, like so many qualifications, so highly decorated. What? And I got to sit at the table with him. And one of the things that we talked about was the adjustment from being in the military to being a civilian. And that even though he's not fully retired, hey, are you eating Santa? Don't you eat Santa? So even though he's still working now in the civilian sector, his wife was with him at the ball. And in his speech, which, by the way, was a spectacular speech, he referenced the role that his wife took in her or in his career, that they've been married 35 years. He said that when he proposed to her, he was a Marine. When they got married, he was a soldier in the Army. And they were together for his entire military career. And he was very quick to say that he would not have the decorated career that he has had if it wasn't for the role of his wife and his family. Saying that his wife, had given up everything to be supportive of him and his dreams and his goals and through all the deployments and everything. And that I started peppering him and his wife with questions about how do you know when your career is done? How do you know that for yourself? And he was like, the only person that can answer that question is you. And he said, I can tell you that you know when you're ready. And when you're ready, you're ready, and you never look back. And so I thought it was really interesting. I wanted to pass those sentiments along to you in case you had a loved one that was currently in the military. And also if you're the spouse of someone that maybe was in the military and maybe got out sooner than they wanted to. And I thought it was really important that he said that only you can be ready for that. And that it kind of needs to be your choice to kind of walk away, and that you know when you're ready to walk away. And obviously with my husband and his career, I kind of wanted this expert opinion, knowing that my husband is going to have to eventually make that decision for himself. I gave him my business card. Jonathan says you need to have him on an episode. I gave him my business card, and I'm definitely going to reach out and ask him if he'll come on the podcast, because just a really, really interesting guy, an unbelievable career. And what's interesting, if you've never been to the Marine Corps ball, there's traditions. I know I've talked about them before, but I'll rehash them for a very specific reason. So there's a whole cake ceremony. The color guard comes out. They escort this big giant cake. Any military celebration always has a big giant cake, but the Marine Corps, the commander of whoever's ball it is, they cut the cake with a sword. And then they always give the first piece of the cake to the guest of honor. So in this case, it was the command sergeant major. Then the guest of honor, they give the cake to the oldest Marine in the room. And then the oldest Marine in the room takes a bite of the cake, and then they pass it to the youngest Marine in the room. It just so happened that the command sergeant major, because he was once a Marine, was also the oldest Marine in the room. Hey, what are you doing? So he actually had to take 2 bites of the cake. The youngest Marine in the room joined the Marine Corps and was born in 2003. And everyone was like, oh my God. And what was amazing was the reaction of the youngest Marine by all of like the senior level, like the command staff, the senior enlisted staff, the NCOs, because the youngest Marine in the room is there and is given the cake from the oldest Marine in the room as the traditional passing of the legacy of the Corps to the next generation. And so there was this kid who had to take this piece of cake from the command sergeant major, who not only was the guest of honor, but also the oldest Marine in the room. And the ovation he got was pretty spectacular. So Mark says, Jesus Christ, I was a senior in high school in 2003. I was already on the air at AAF, like very well established in my career in 2003. So yeah, I was just like, oh my God. So the Marine Corps ball was amazing. It was such a good time. Needless to say, my husband and I shut down the ball. Then we went out bar hopping with a bunch of his friends, closed the ball, ended up back at the hotel. My husband and I have not been up until sunrise in a really long time together. And I'm going to give us a pat on the back, because even though we were both hurting the next day, we didn't throw up. There was no like falling down, like spilling, embarrassing ourselves. Like we just had an amazing time, and it was so much fun. So to everybody that I met at the ball, it was so good. We had such a good time, and I look forward to it every year. I realize that there's only going to be a few more of these before my husband does eventually retire. And so I want to take advantage and have as much fun as I can for as long as I can. And I love getting them all dressed up. I love going and having our pictures taken. And it was an absolute blast. So this was the guest of honor. I'm going to do my best to get him on the podcast. He was amazing. Long story short, that's why I'm drinking the Shirley Temple tonight. The other thing I wanted to do was make sure that we commemorated the National Guard birthday today, which is why I'm drinking out of this cup in tribute to the 182nd Infantry from the Mass National Guard, the guys that I was in Afghanistan with. So today is the National Guard birthday. The National Guard taking its lineage back to the first muster in Salem, Massachusetts back in 1636. So if you're a guardsman, if you're a guardswoman, if you served in the National Guard at any point in your career, happy birthday. Toast to the National Guard today. What do you got Wednesday? Do you got your favorite? Are you bringing that over here? Do you want to show everybody your favorite toy in the whole wide world? Huh? Come here. Can you sit down with me? Do you just want to sit and be a good girl? You got your favorite? Good girl. Good girl. What a good girl you are. All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Lots of mail call tonight. One of the things I want to remind you about is the big gig. If you're looking for a great holiday gift for somebody that loves music, big gig tickets. It's coming up April 29th at the DCU Center. Breaking Benjamin, Falling in Reverse, The Pretty Reckless, Beartooth, and Dorothy. Tickets are on sale right now, and you can get the details on the concert calendar at mistresscarrie.com. All right, even though it's a Temple Tuesday, even though I'm drinking Shirley Temples on mocktails in the War Room, I did want to go over a drink recipe with you guys, partly because it had vodka in it, partly because I love the name of it. It's called Parson's Nose. I don't know where the lineage of this drink comes from, but I thought it was hilarious. It's 2 ounces of vodka, a half an ounce of amaretto, and a half an ounce of creme de peach, and a dash of bitters. And you stir all of those ingredients into a mixing glass and then strain into a martini glass and serve. Obviously, if it's going to have a little bit of peach liqueur in it, we're always worried about how to garnish these cocktails here in the War Room. So I thought garnishing it, definitely with lemon, with the vodka. The amaretto is definitely kind of got that caramelly sweet kind of thing, pretty much covered. So I thought maybe you don't get a lot of drinks where you're putting like a wedge of peach. And then I thought, what if you froze cubes of peaches and put those in the martini glass so that not only would they keep the drink cold, but also that as they thawed, you could kind of eat them as the buffet that went along with the drink. So you lost me at peach, Tracy says. Gummy peaches, that would be interesting. Definitely the peach slice, Amanda. That sounds like a weird mix. I agree, Heidi. And the fact that it's called Parson's Nose, I just don't understand. But if you're new to the War Room, one of the things we always do is we go through some of the bartender books that I have here in the War Room. And we're just always looking for interesting cocktail recipes to just kind of take your cocktail game to the next level, especially if you're going to be doing some entertaining around the holidays. We've discovered some really cool things and also some really weird things too. So that's called Parson's Nose. Vodka, amaretto, creme de peach, and a little bit of bitters, and mix it up. Martini glass, little garnish. Parson's Nose. There you go. All right. We got to recap the podcast because, like I said, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So last week on episode 131 of the Mistress Carrie podcast, I introduced you to a new band. They've been around for a few years. Like I said in the podcast, I saw them back in 2019 in Vegas, and they're called Starcrawler. And I interviewed the lead singer, Arrow DeWild, from Starcrawler. This is the band right here. And I talked a lot about the combination of like the different flavors in their music. It's a little punk. It's got a little grunge in there. There's also a little bit of the, like I was saying, like the Manson stuff. Fernandez says, needs a recipe with tart cherry to treat my gout. I'm working on it, Fernandez, just for you. A sugared slice of peach. The name does not fit the drink, though. I totally agree, Amanda. So this is one of those bands that is new, is really starting to make a name for themselves, and is one of those bands that kind of need to be seen to be believed. And they rolled through Boston earlier this year. They were at the Brighton Music Hall, and I wasn't able to get to the show. But I wanted to put them on your radar because I always want to make sure that you guys know what's going on when it comes to new music. And, we did the interview while the band was driving in their van through the mountains. So reception was a little bit squirrely at times. Because we were only on the phone, I find it's much better to do interviews when I'm actually looking at the person. I just think that the interviews go better. Her and I were only able to talk on the phone because of the reception. I did not get a chance to meet her in Vegas, so I haven't really had a chance to kind of sit down with her face to face, which I look forward to the next time that the band is in town. But I definitely wanted to put this band on your radar because they've got a huge team behind them, a really good label, the same label as Aaron Jones and so many other artists. And so I think there's a lot of big plans for Starcrawler. So I definitely wanted to put them on your radar for sure. So episode 131, if you missed it, features Arrow DeWild from Starcrawler. And she comes from a long line of artists. Her grandfather is a very famous, like late 60s photographer. Her mom is a photographer. Her dad is a drummer. And so there's a lot, we referenced it in the interview, there's a lot of creative coming out of her family. And so it's not a surprise. And I asked her about that. Like, how did your parents feel about you, like starting a punk band? And she was like, they were actually kind of okay with it. And partly it was because of the background of, so many generations of her family being part of the entertainment industry. So, sorry, I had to eat the cherry. It's so good. Okay, what's going on? What's up, Penny? I see everybody sending support to everybody, and I don't know exactly what's going on. I missed some of the messages. I also want to remind you guys that last week I released a bonus episode of the podcast as well. So if you haven't checked it out yet, the bonus episode features Bret Michaels from Poison talking about his new tour, the Party Gras 2023, Night Ranger, Jefferson Starship, Mark McGrath. It's coming July 21st to the Xfinity Center. Tickets are already on sale. This is another show that's up in the concert calendar at mistresscarrie.com. But if you did not go and listen to the bonus episode with Bret Michaels, you definitely can do that as well. So, Marcy, it's all good. You don't have to apologize for being late. Amanda says the cherry is the best part. Never apologize for eating the cherry. All right, podcast announcement. Episode 132 of the Mistress Carrie podcast features Will Turpin from Collective Soul. Now, Will joined Collective Soul in high school. He's the bass player in the band, but he also grew up the son of a recording engineer. His dad ran his own recording studio, and Will Turpin took over his dad's studio and also has his own indie label now. I talked to Will about the new Collective Soul album. We talked about touring. We talked about working with newer bands. He gave me a list of a bunch of new artists that he's working with. So I will tell you that the corresponding playlist for this episode is awesome because not only is there a ton of Collective Soul stuff in there, but all of the artists that he referenced as far as loving growing up, that inspired him, that inspired Collective Soul, all of those are in there. But then he also talked about towards the end of the episode, a bunch of artists that he is recording and helping to produce, and was like, you should really check out all of these artists. And he said that he asked me to check back in with him once the episode went live. And after I had a chance to listen to some of these artists and to give him my opinion about some of them. So if you're a Collective Soul fan, we talked about Dolly Parton, because she won a Grammy covering Shine, which is their most popular song. So we definitely did some Dolly talk as well. But we talked about songwriting. We talked about touring. Will is a really interesting, approachable, super cool guy, a lover of music for sure, and with a band that has such longevity. Coming out of Georgia and loving so much kind of indie rock that really inspired Collective Soul back in the 90s. You know, he talked about bands like INXS and U2 and REM and those types of bands that they were really into that, you know, kind of became the alternative music format. So super interesting. Trina says, history lesson, the term Parson's nose comes from the idea of an arrogant English parson having his nose in the air. So I assume this is a snob drink, but it still sounds yummy. Interesting. Thank you for Googling that. Let's see. Collective Soul is great, says Marcy. Collective Soul is amazing, says Jessica. Let's see. How about Matchbox 20? Jessica, I would love to have them on. The thing about the podcast is that the list of people that I don't want to have on is pretty short, because everyone's stories are super interesting. It was like when you watch like a VH1 Behind the Music episode, even if you didn't like the artist, their life was always interesting. Or even if you didn't like the video, you watched the pop-up video because there were all these weird random trivia facts in there. I love getting to know the new artists and also the older legacy artists and kind of just talking about music in general, about touring, about inspiration, about their lives. You find out the most interesting stuff about people when you're not just talking about like the new record or whatever. Like we talked about a lot of stuff. So I really liked having Will Turpin on the show. Cannot wait to have him back. Super approachable. And I am absolutely looking for some feedback on this episode next week. Not only on the interview, but I also want you guys to go and listen to some of these newer artists that he talks about towards the end of the episode. Go into the playlist, listen to the artist, and then I want you guys to give me some feedback on some of these new artists he talks about and which ones you liked and why. So that's kind of your homework between now and next Tuesday night, is that I want to be able to let them know what the reaction was to this episode, and then also say, and by the way, the people that listen to the interview, this is the feedback they gave me about some of the artists that you're working with. Who remembers Headbangers Ball? Heidi. We all remember Headbangers Ball for sure. I would love, are you kidding me, to talk to John Bon Jovi? He's probably number one on my list behind a Beatle when it comes to musicians that are on like my dream list to meet. Just because I loved Bon Jovi so much growing up, and the fact that I've never met him still to this day just is insane to me. So it's definitely a goal. Meeting a Beatle is 100% at the top, just because there's only two of them left and they're in their 80s. So I don't know if I could handle meeting Sir Paul or Ringo, but I don't know. Challenge accepted. All right. So if you listen to the podcast, don't forget you're going to get the weekly episodes. Every Wednesday, a new episode goes live. You also never know when I'm going to release a bonus episode. And then you also get the sit rep, which comes out every weekday. The sit rep was an hour late yesterday. Normally it uploads at 3 a.m. It uploaded at 4 a.m. yesterday because I got so delayed at Logan that by the time I got home, I still had to produce the sit rep and record it and get it edited. So I didn't get to bed yesterday morning until like 4:30 in the morning to make sure that the sit rep went up without a hitch. So, yeah. Late night at Logan after a late night at the Marine Corps ball and a Christmas party. Rough. Okay. So you get the sit rep every weekday. I want to remind you guys about all the places that you can get the podcast, because basically anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find the Mistress Carrie podcast. All the big ones, obviously, Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, Stitcher, Deezer, just Anywhere you listen to podcasts, just search the Mistress Carrie podcast. You're going to see this artwork right here. You know you're in the right place. The full-length episodes are the numbered ones. Then there's always the bonus episodes in there. Sometimes, like with Bret Michaels, it's a quick 15-minute interview. Sometimes it's a great interview that I got unexpectedly, and I don't want to hold it for too long. And I try to schedule podcast episodes like months in advance to know that I have guests lined up. And then if I get access to a guest at the last minute, I'm never going to say no. It's just, got to have a place to put them. So there's always bonus episodes as well. That's why you got to subscribe. And if you don't listen to podcasts on your mobile phone, you can always just go and listen to the episodes one by one at mistresscarrie.com. After a run of the last few weeks of adding countries to our tally, we are holding strong at 139 countries that are listening to the Mistress Carrie podcast. So we definitely went on a bender, but now we're holding strong at 139 countries, which is pretty awesome. So, all right, we got a ton of music headlines, a ton of mail call. I want to remind you guys about everything that's going on with Metallica because the Helping Hands concert live stream is happening on Friday this week on Paramount Plus. It's at 8:30 Eastern. Metallica is going to stream their performance. They're also going to stream Greta Van Fleet's performance as well. And there's more details up on the events calendar. But the new album, 72 Seasons, is coming out in April. Lux Eterna is out now. The tour has been announced. 2 dates at Gillette in Foxborough in August of 2024. Night number 1, August 2nd, with Pantera and also with Mammoth WVH. Night number 2, August 4th, with Five Finger Death Punch and Ice Nine Kills. Now, part of the reason I wanted to bring this up is we got to talk about Rex Brown and Pantera because Rex Brown came down with COVID in South America, and he is now taken off the rest of this year to recover from COVID. So right now, the only original member of Pantera is Phil. And then, of course, Zach and Charlie Benante. And then there is the bass player from Cannibal Corpse has taken over for Rex Brown. But I wanted to remind you about everything going on with Metallica. The 2 Metallica shows are already on sale. Single day tickets don't go on sale till January 20th. And all the details are up on the event calendar. Just go to the concert calendar there. Alter Bridge coming up fast, February 8th at Roadrunner. Tickets are on sale now. It's Alter Bridge and Mammoth WVH. So if you want to see Wolfgang Van Halen in a place smaller than Gillette Stadium, this is your opportunity. He's in the studio right now working on a new album. My assumption is before he hits the road with Alter Bridge, we're going to get a new single. That's what I think. It's not what I've heard, but it's what I think. And then the other show at Roadrunner I wanted to remind you guys about, February 25th, Theory of a Dead Man and Skillet, the Rock Resurrection Tour with Saint Asonia. Both of these shows are on sale right now and up on the concert calendar. A lot of shows are getting announced, guys. So many tours are getting announced. So keep your eyes on the concert calendar because there's a ton of stuff coming up. This show just went on sale last week. Bush and Candlebox at the MGM Music Hall at Fenway on Valentine's Day. By the way, 2023. Only Metallica is 2024 so far. Congratulations to Godsmack, 5 weeks at number 1 with their song Surrender, just to be outseated by Lux Eterna from Metallica. That's the first single off of their new album, Lighting Up the Sky, that's coming out February 24th. The new song, You and I, is out now. Anthrax and Black Label are out on the road together, partly because, well, they share a lot of fans, but also because Charlie and Zach are out with Pantera. So Anthrax and Black Label are going to be at the House of Blues on February 5th. The Foreigner Farewell Tour is rolling into the Xfinity Center. That is with Loverboy on August 5th. All of those shows, by the way, are on sale already. More shows are getting announced all the time. Aaron Lewis at Foxwoods in April. Filter's getting ready to come out with a new album in 2023, which means we can expect a tour as well. Aaron Lewis is also putting the finishing touches on a Stained record. So while Mike Mushok is out with Saint Asonia with Theory of a Dead Man and Skillet, Aaron is going to be out doing a solo thing, and then we can expect some Stained gigs to get announced for next year. The Dropkicks are going to be In Boston at the MGM on March 17th and 18th, and then at the House of Blues on the 19th. Jerry Cantrell is going to be at the Cabot Theater in Beverly on the 17th of March. Blink-182, the reunion, May 21st at the Garden. Those tickets are on sale now. We'll be talking about Blink-182 coming up with birthdays in a few minutes because Tom DeLonge, one of many artists celebrating their birthday today. Soulfly announced their show at the Brighton Music Hall on February 20th. Those tickets went on sale last week. Steel Panther at the Palladium on March 19th with Crowbot. Those tickets are on sale, as are the tickets for Queensryche at the Palladium on April 7th. And Rex Brown, wishing him a speedy recovery. He dropped out of a couple of the Pantera shows, but they hadn't announced why. A radio DJ in Chile, I believe, had reported that it was due to COVID, but the band had not confirmed it. Rex Brown confirmed it now and is saying he's going to need the rest of the year to recover, that he is recovering, but he needs the rest of the year to recover. And so he's not going to rejoin Pantera until 2023. New releases coming out today. They usually only come out on Fridays. Come on. Where's your new releases? There we go. Cheap Trick, Live at the Whiskey from 77. That comes out this Friday. And then Weezer has been releasing a bunch of EPs, the Seasons EPs. This is Winter, and it comes out on the 21st. So next Wednesday? No. Yeah, next Wednesday or next Tuesday. I can't even think about it. But the new Weezer's on the way next week. All right, mail call. We got a lot of stuff to go through tonight, guys. The first thing that I wanted to do is say happy holidays to Lindsay, Mark, Haley, and Lila, who sent me this adorable homemade card, which I absolutely love. So happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you guys. Also got this one. I love like the custom cards, but then there's something about the old fashioned, like cards without pictures with the glitter on them. There's just something about it. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Meaningful, memorable, merry, and bright. Wishing you a holiday season that's everything you could hope for and more. Love, Cheryl Sullivan from the War Room. So Cheryl, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. All right. Got some packages to go through here. Okay, so the first thing we got is a little package from ClearPath for Veterans New England, a little stress squeezy thing. And I told you guys in the past, I keep things like this on my coffee table because sometimes when I'm watching TV, that's not yours. Wednesday's back, by the way, because she knows it's mail call because she's a spoiled brat. The next thing that I got is some green tea, which I absolutely love. I usually drink iced tea, like I drink iced coffee. But in the winter, I drink a lot of tea, not only to try and fight off a cold or whatever, but also just sometimes I drink so much coffee that I want like decaffeinated tea, or just like late at night, I'm not going to have a cup of coffee while I'm watching a movie in front of the fire, but I will definitely have a hot cup of tea. And then I love the Nightmare Before Christmas wrapping paper. This is from Elsa and Sherry Wednesday. This is for you. Can you guys see her? What is this? Oh my God. Wednesday, did you get a toy? Did you get a toy? Huh? I can't even handle this, guys. Wednesday got Gumby, damn it. How cute. And it's got a squeaker, it says. Yes, it does. Although it's got a zip tie and I don't have a knife with me. So you're going to have to wait for Gumby Wednesday. But look at Gumby. What do you think? What do you think, Wednesday? You want to play with Gumby? Back up. Thank you guys so much. I'm telling you, when people come to the house, one of the first things they see is the giant basket of Wednesday toys. And they're like, she couldn't possibly play with all those toys. And I'm like, but she does. When John Hill was here for Veterans Day, he actually stayed at the house for a few days. And he watched me pick up Wednesday's toys every day. And he was like, she plays with all those toys. I was like, trust me, I know. I know. Okay. This one says, Carrie and Wednesday, sorry they are a bit late. We all know how life can get, and you don't know which way is which. Enjoy the holidays with Mr. C and the kids. Love, Keith. So Keith sent not milk duds, milk pugs. Oh my God. Milk pugs. Look at how freaking cute they are. Sweet and stinky. This also has a zip tie on it, so you're going to have to wait. But it has a squeaker, Wednesday. Is this for you too? And it's one of those toys that she loves. First of all, it's crinkly. Second of all, the little pug heads are separate and you put them in. So it's one of those interactive toys that like, she's going to have these little pug heads, which I think have squeakers in them too. She's going to have them all over the house. I can tell already. Wednesday, you got milk pugs. The other thing Keith sent is Doorables. 8 exclusive figures. How am I not going to put these up on my door? Your favorite Disney Doorables character with sparkly glitter eyes, so tiny and cute, you can't help but collect them all. They're Muppets. Oh my God. Keith. These are the kinds of things where like, I'm like, do I want to open them? Do I want to use them? Because what if like they're collectible, but at the same time, like I understand people that collect toys and stuff because they're like, they're going to be worth money, but I want to enjoy them. Like all of those collectible things where people are like, oh, you know, you got to leave them in the original package and you can't. It's like, no, I want to use them. So there are little figures behind every door. See, they're sealed in plastic. And so they're kind of like what do they call those things? You guys know what I'm talking about. The countdown to Christmas and you open up the little doors. Why can't I think of what the hell those are called? I'm opening one. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I searched for 2 weeks for them and found them at Walmart. Oh my God, guys. Look at these little things. How cute are these? Advent calendars. Thank you, guys. I knew it was something like that. Oh my God. Oh, now I have to open them. I can't. This is why we can't have nice things. Because I open them because I love them so much. Wednesday's like, are those for me? Oh my God, guys. Look at the little Kermit. Look at the little Kermit with his little sparkly eyes. See his little sparkly eyes? I got Kermit and Piggy. Ah! All right, I'm not going to open the rest of them now. But they will be open. And they will be in MCHQ because they need to be. All right, what else is in here? This one says, have yourself a merry little Christmas. Merry Christmas, Mistress Carrie. Wishing you and the family a Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year. I found this print on TikTok and it reminded me of Wednesday. It's not your usual decor, but Wednesday is one of a kind. And I thought this image captured it. Enjoy. Best wishes, Donna. To MC Wednesday, Mr. C and the kids, may the wonder of the holidays fill your home and heart. Guys, this picture, I can't. Are you kidding me right now? It does look like Wednesday in rainbow unicorn pajamas. Look at this thing. Oh my God. Shannon wants to know if you get a spare animal, can I have it? Yes, Shannon, you 100% can. Guys, how cute is this? Seriously. I might have to like frame this and put this over her bed on the wall. It's so adorable. You guys find the coolest stuff. Then also peanut butter banana oat dog treats. Pup tested, pup approved. Wednesday, do you want to try one of these? Does that smell good? You want to try one of these? Over here. Go here. Sit down. Sit down. Do you want to try one? No. Back up. Sit down. Do you want to try one? You're going to get crumbs all over my couch, aren't you? Yeah, you are. But she loves them because it has peanut butter in it. Donna, thank you so much. I love the unicorn picture. It's freaking hilarious. All right, and then there's one more, and there was a bunch of packing cardboard in here. Oh. Ralph, you're up. So he sent me mixers, which with all of the cocktail talk that we have in here, how cool is this? We're going to have to make some cool drinks here in the War Room. So this has got ruby red sangria, passion fruit cocktail, classic margarita mix, Blue Lagoon, an espresso martini, classic mojito, Singapore sling, mulled wine, a Moscow mule, and what does that one say? I can't. There's a glare on the light. Epinaria? Is that what that is? Is that what that's called? What does that say, guys? Am I not saying that right? This one. What is that? I've never heard of that drink. Challenge accepted. This is awesome. It says the World Traveler Cocktail Mixer Collection. Did you eat all of that cookie? Was that good with the peanut butter? Was it? Was that good? All right. Then, you spoil her. She's going to be 10,000 pounds. A giant thing of bones for her. Pepperoni for her. Look at her. Do you see how crazy she's going right now? Wednesday got a stocking. It's got squeaky Santa and candy canes and ho 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 balls and oh my God. Guys. Silly sound, more fun. It's a chicken in a bikini. I'm never going to stop doing this. I can't be trusted. You need a rubber chicken. You have to have a rubber chicken. Wait, what else is in here? Ooh, we got a shirt. Hold on. Oh, nice. The Great Heathen Army, Amon Amarth. Hell yeah. Tour started in November, ended December 17th. Hell yeah. This is awesome. See, you get t-shirts, then you don't have to do laundry. All right, hold on. There's one more thing in here. Oh, no, there's two more things in here. Hold on. Saving that one until last. Speaking of Advent calendar, the 12 Cocos of Christmas. Hell to the yes. Amaretto, French vanilla, caramel, hazelnut, milk chocolate, mint, toasted marshmallow, gingerbread hot chocolate. Look at Wednesday. She's licking her lips like she's going to get some. Candy cane, salted caramel, cinnamon, and double chocolate. This looks amazing. Oh my God. The Cocoa Advent Calendar. And then finally, in this giant box, a paper bag full of dicks on a stick. There's the rainbow dick on a stick. There's the orange dick on a stick. There's the purple dick on a stick. There's a yellow dick on a stick and a red dick on a stick. Another rainbow dick on a stick. Oh, it's a whole bag of dicks, guys. I'm not even kidding. There's a couple of, this is, I guess, a teal dick on a stick, and then a green dick on a stick, and then a third rainbow dick on a stick. Wednesday's face, though, hilarious. In the war room, we choked the chicken. Pug hole, by the way. What is this? What is that, Wednesday? Do you want to smell it? She does not know what to do with the chicken. Dicks on Sticks are performing at the Middle East upstairs. Oh, that's fantastic. We got stopped in the Vegas airport because of the rainbow dick on a stick. It's a bag of dicks. It really is a bag of dicks. Look. It's a bag of dicks on sticks. Did we ever have a dick on a stick in the war room before? You are welcome. Ralph, you are hilarious. I think she's scared. Oh my God, Wednesday, I'm dying. Look at her though. She's scared, but not really. She's intrigued. She just wants to be in control of the distance between her and the chicken. Right, Nugget? Right? See, you don't have to be afraid. She's doing the head tilt. Look. We are officially off the rails, says Jonathan. 100% we're off the rails. Yeah, because I got this giant box of stuff and a squeaking rubber chicken and a dog. This is what happens. This is your fault. You did this. My friend Mel makes baked beans, cake or brownie ones that are glazed or Boston cream filled. There used to be a bakery in Boston on Mass Ave called Sweet and Nasty. It was right over by what used to be Tower Records, right down the street from Berkeley. And they were like a chocolatier and a dirty bakery place. And you could just basically go and get like boob cakes and dick cakes and like dicks on sticks and kind of all of that stuff. Penny says, we've had a lot of dicks in the war room. Yes, we have, Penny. Yes, we have. And pretty much all of them have been delicious, by the way. Sorry about the chicken. Oh, don't be sorry about the chicken. What is that, Wednesday? What is it? Here, I'm going to leave it here for you. This is going to be hours of my life. Literally hours of my life. Wednesday, where are you going? Don't be scared. Can we get a poll to name the chicken? 100%. The thing is, it's a chicken that's a girl, so it can't be the cock. Here she comes. She went and got her pacifier, the favorite. By far her most prized possession is that black fuzzy ball over there. That is her go-to. It is her pacifier. It is her comfort. It's like a favorite blanket to a kid. The favorite is, you got your favorite. It's like her safety blanket. I vote for Walter. Oh my God. Don't choke the chicken. Hazel. Oh my God. Amazing. All right. I got to remind you guys about all the stuff that you can get off the website because the holidays are coming fast and furious. The orders are getting packed up as soon as I get them. But as you start getting closer to the holidays, if you want to guarantee that you're going to get stuff, it's not going to be delayed on my end. It'll be delayed on the mail. So the sooner you guys put these orders in for whatever it is that you want, the better if you want to guarantee that they're going to get where you need them to get by Christmas. All the new stuff, you could check it all out on the website. Fitted caps, the trucker caps, the visors. There's also the concert event bags. So if you guys are planning on giving somebody concert tickets as a gift, print the tickets out. Even though most likely they're going to be digital tickets you're going to transfer, you could print a copy of them out and put them in the concert bag, and then they'll have something to actually like a gift that they can open. There's also the 7-in-1 bartender tool and coasters as well. And the Christmas party that my husband and I went to over the weekend, we had to put like this big box together. So we put a bunch of booze and I put one of the bartender tools and some of the coasters in it. And it was a huge hit at the party for like Yankee swaps and stuff because it's so useful. And the girl that actually got it was like, I live in an apartment. I don't have a ton of room, but this thing's got everything I need and it's small. And I love that about it. So was really excited that it's like a practical gift. So, Bruins, Annie Ann says the Bruins won in a shootout. Yes. The Pats come back after halftime on Monday Night Football. Bruins win in a shootout. Fantastic. You can name the rubber chicken after you just saying. No. Penny says, I got my tank top so fast. As soon as the orders come in, I try really, really hard, unless I'm traveling, which I'm not traveling now through the end of the year, to get the orders packed up as fast as I can so that you get the stuff as quick as possible. Hey, Carrie, did you get the package that I sent you? Elsa, I got it. I did. And I love Gumby. Can we name it Cocky? Mark wants to know. I got my bag and hat and I love them, says Marcy. That is awesome. I always try to put some little tchotchkes in there too. Name the chicken after Mr. C. He's not joining us right now because he's on a plane. Not coming here, unfortunately, for work. But I don't think he wants the rubber chicken named after him. I'm fairly certain. So all of this stuff, all the new stuff is available only on the website. There's a bunch of other merch that you can get in person at Joe's Albums in Worcester. And also, if you're looking for just holiday shopping ideas, Joe's Albums has got so much stuff. Anything to do with vinyl, stereo equipment, Funko Pop, just a bunch of really cool music-oriented novelties. There's a ton of stuff. If you're celebrating your birthday today on December 13th, you are in a long line of musicians and artists that are celebrating their birthday today. Joel Hoekstra, who we just had on the podcast recently from Whitesnake and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Taylor Swift, Ted Nugent, Tom DeLonge, who is now back with Blink-182, Amy Lee from Evanescence, and also singer, piano player, and actor Jamie Foxx are all celebrating their birthday today. So if you're celebrating your birthday today, cheers to you. Happy unbirthday, Keith. A little sip of my my mocktail in the War Room tonight on this Temple Tuesday. And anytime I make these, I have no shame. You guys see all the cherries in there? You know why? Number one, because they're delicious. Number two, because I'm an adult with a job. Even if I want to put 6 or 7 cherries in my Shirley Temple, I'm doing it. That's why. Blink-182 are awesome. Jessica says, might have the winner here. Let's see. So are you guys still trying to name the chicken? Also want to remind you guys, if you don't have a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass, they make a great gift. If it's something you wanted, like maybe you could, do it for a year or something and give it as a gift. But a Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass, we are going to do another live stream before the end of the year. I don't know when it's going to be yet, but as soon as I pick the date, I will let all of you guys know that have Backstage Passes already. It's just one of the things we do every month. We get together. It's kind of like what we do here in the War Room, but it's a lot smaller. And we talk a lot about a lot more stuff because the group is smaller. You can also submit podcast interview questions because I tell you in advance who I'm going to be interviewing in the next few weeks. So you can send me questions. You also get travel blog updates, early access to event tickets, and exclusive concert ticket giveaways. And I will tell you that there are going to be some concert giveaways coming up in January. And also there is going to be one more last minute coupon code to get discounted merchandise in the store before Christmas for Mistress Carrie Backstage Pass holders. So lots of reasons to get a Backstage Pass. You can go to patreon.com/Mistress Carrie or just click on the Patreon logo at mistresscarrie.com. And just as a reminder, all of the places you can track me down on line and on social, they're all linked off of mistresscarrie.com. So really all you got to do is just go to the website. It's all there. But Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Cameo, YouTube, and of course Patreon, they are all right there. And that's it. Right, Wednesday? Is the show over? Are we done? Are you being a good girl? Huh? Do you want me to take the tags off your milk pugs and off your new Gumby? Huh? Is that what you want? Can I have your paw? Can I have your paw? Thank you. What a good girl. All right, guys, I think that's it. Yes, I'm eating the cherry, Jonathan, you perv. Are you still doing the Cameo videos? So, yes, I am. I was having some trouble with the app and an update that I downloaded, and we figured out what it was and that I need to update my phone. And it's not just the update. My phone is so old, it won't take the new Apple updates. And so I have a new phone ordered, and I should have it by the weekend, which I'm pretty excited about. Keith wants to know, when the fuck are we all getting together? I'm working on ideas, Keith. Jeez. You didn't wish Keith a happy unbirthday. Yes, I did. I 100% did. I did not forget Keith. You're not making me drink because I forgot Keith. First of all, there's no booze in this drink. Second of all, I remembered Keith, damn it. Ralph says, enjoy the gifts, Carrie and Wednesday. Thank you guys so much. When I left the post office, they were like, oh, you got a bunch of stuff waiting for you, huh? And I was like, yeah, I am loved. And so is Wednesday. Right, Wednesday? Right? All right, guys. I will see you guys next week. Next week, the family should be here. So we're going to have to wait and see how they distract me during the show. They won't come on the show, obviously, but they will be here. I'm looking forward to spending the holidays together and having them come up and be here, which is going to be awesome. So pretty excited. Marion says, getting my next cancer scan in March. Marion, we got our fingers crossed for you. You've been negative so far. Keith says, I am dying at that comment, Carrie. Thank you, Keith. Good night, everybody. Have a great night. War Room family, Jonathan, everybody. Say goodnight, Wednesday. You want to look up here? Say goodnight to everyone because you're such a good girl. All right, guys. I'll see you next week. Don't forget episode 132 featuring Will Turpin from Collective Soul. Episode 132 of the podcast goes live at midnight tonight. Oh, and bah humpug. Hold on. I got to show you the sweater. Hells to the yeah. All right. Good night, guys. Wait, Wednesday.